welcome to The Trade. Before we get into the charts that matter, let's have a quick look at what traders are watching out there today. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris and her Republican rival Donald Trump have delivered radically different messages on the US campaign trail as they seek to win over undecided voters in the couple of weeks before Election Day. Walt Disney saying it will announce a replacement for CEO Bob Iger in early 2026, marking the first time the storied media and entertainment company has formally announced a timetable for his succession. The IMF's managing director, Kristalina Georgieva, has said higher prices are here to stay, which adds to economic pain also stemming from slow growth and high debt. US rules that will ban certain US investments in artificial intelligence in China under final review, according to a government posting suggesting restrictions are coming soon. And ratings agency Moody's changing its outlook on the US banking system to stable from negative, saying that the change reflects expectations that interest rate cuts and sustained moderate economic growth will stabilise bank asset quality and drive profitability. Let's get to the charts with a focus on US earnings with Hebe Chen from IG joining me now. Hi, Hebe. Let's have a look at Tesla, one of the big ones. What are we seeing here?
Good morning, Julie. Thank you for having me today. Yes, I think Tesla should be many people, including myself, stock to watch for today, for this week, as they are going to report the Q3 earnings tomorrow after the US markets close. And this is a stock that has gone through quite a lot of volatility in the past. It's entering into the October, as you can see that I've marked off the two major events here that dragging the prices down quite significantly. One is when they report the Q3 delivery, that the share price is dropping as much as 5%, and then followed is the when Tesla review its cyber cap that also should putting quite a lot of pressure on the stock prices, down about 8%. In regards to earnings, I think the market do not have a quite high expectation there, given that the Tesla actually haven't impress the shareholders with the numbers in the past 5 earnings. So I think the expectation wasn't very high, but not that sometimes they had lower expectation could potentially meaning that they lower chance for the more disappointment to come, given that we have seen the share price has already priced in the two major events in the past 10 days. But looking at the technical wise, I do think that the buyers and sellers is now sort of hovering around this 100 days moving average around about 220 level and awaiting for the earnings. And if that turns out to be another disappointment, or the shareholders still feel not certain about the picture that they painted for the future, that potentially I think the next correction collection point will coming back to the 206 or even $200. That would means that the share prices for Tesla has dropping about 25% from its peak, and that will be at very similar level when they report the Q2 earnings. So that's one of the scenario. On the other hand, I also noticed quite a big wide range of the resistance, which is sitting about 222 to 238. That's the price gap left when they review their cyber cap, and that will be, I trust there will be a quite midterm resistance area for the Tesla to seeking for a rebound from the current level.
All right, we're looking as well to Alphabet's upcoming earnings, a bit of an underperforming star here.
Yes, indeed. I think quite different to Tesla. The actual Alphabet's earning has beat its expectation for the past 5 earnings quarters, and for the upcoming one, which will report next week, they're expecting keep improving their revenue from 84 billion to 86, while the earning per share is anticipated to stay pretty unchanged as last quarter. As you mentioned, that share prices for Alphabet actually underperform if you compare, putting up a chart here compared to the S&P 500 and NASDAQ in the past 6 months and a year to date, they both underperform. So potentially seeing that it could be the upcoming earnings will be the last opportunity to play a bit of catch up before the end of the year. In terms of technical wise, I do notice that the price is now getting into a quite critical, the end angle of this triangle shape that's sticking a breakout. If they could potentially getting the support and bounce up from this 162 level, I think the next target we're looking to breaking out from this descending trend line, sticking above 165, even looking into the 100 days moving average now sitting at almost 168 level here. That's one of the chances if that the earnings do manage to sustain or preserve the optimism about the alphabet. But on the other hand, there's also a chance that we're seeing that the prices potentially will pull back into 200 days moving average, now sitting roughly about even below 160, about 158 to 162 level. And that's another chance if that the high expectation for alphabet did not get to meet with the real financial figures for next week.
Look, we're also looking, Hebe, very closely at digital gold as we continue to monitor the real commodity as well. What is the likelihood that we do see Bitcoin creep back to around 70,000?
Yes, we see the Bitcoin prices, many people probably noticed that jumping up as much as 10%, nearly 10% last week. And the start of this week also looks quite positive now. And there's multiple things in play, but the major things and the key factor weighs more than anything now is the US election. As we know that the Trump is well known for a big support of the Bitcoin, and also actually the both parties now sounds pretty positive about the supporting the digital coins. So I think in terms of the factors, the underpin, the current rally, I think they will continue to play. And for technical wise, I also see some quite positive breakout for the Bitcoin prices. One is as I noticed, the ascending, the resistance levels now being overcome. The price is now jumping above the 66K level. Another also quite noticeable is that they try to conquer this purple line here, which is the previous peak that marked in early August. Another one is looking for a big pattern from the August to October now. I also noticed quite a similar shape, like a reverse pattern of the head shoulder, which are marked in the purple here. So in the chance that they could potentially convincingly overcome this 68, the shoulder line of this reversal head and shoulder patterns, I think that was tending to be more positive for the outlook for the Bitcoin. On the other hand, I think if there's a pullback, which I noticed probably happening early this morning, that will continue to seeing this as the previous resistance now tending to the support that potentially will support the price at above 66K. But if not, they will looking a little bit down here, and they're looking into the support from this previous trend line starting from June. That's starting from when they marked the peak of in the June 71K. Now surely be a support that to seeing the prices down above the 65K. So that's a pullback cases. But on the other hand, if the Bitcoin rally could potentially continue towards the US election, I think the 70K is quite a big challenge, but also quite a possible target if we do seeing that the confidence for the Bitcoins moving towards the US election.
All right, Hebe, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Hebe Chen from IG. That does it for this episode of The Trade. Be sure to join us again next time.